Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this
PBD podcast. Ice Cube spoke out and shared his perspective on what is happening with Diddy. Ice Cube called hip-hop the Wild West and suggested that these legal battles might be part of a much bigger story playing out. Behind the scenes in the industry, this is not just about one person. It seems to be a reflection of deeper patterns and long-standing power dynamics that have existed in the world of hip-hop.
He has been arrested in New York City after a grand jury indictment, and we have the breaking news. Though charges in the indictment are unknown, Billboard has confirmed the arrest. The rap mogul has been hit with at least 8 civil lawsuits alleging sexual abuse over the past year. Now, according to TMZ, Diddy was taken into federal custody at the FBI's Manhattan field office. In a statement to Billboard, an attorney for Diddy said, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal." We'll keep you posted as the story develops. For everything we know, head to billboard.com.
Recently made waves by claiming on a podcast that Jay-Z is connected to the situation surrounding Diddy. Jaguar Wright is known for making bold and attention-grabbing statements about powerful figures in the industry, but there is no solid evidence to back up these claims right now. It is important to remember that these are opinions and not proven facts as the story continues to develop. The public we'll be watching closely to see what unfolds next. LU3 Jaguar Wright has made several attention-grabbing claims about big names in the music industry, including Diddy and Jay-Z. She has voiced her personal opinions about Diddy being connected to unusual situations and has suggested that some people linked to him faced strange circumstances after working on tell-all books. These statements have sparked conversation, but there is no confirmed evidence supporting these claims at this time. The industry and the public remain curious as more details may or may not surface in the future. Suju for the music industry, especially during that era, created spaces where men in powerful positions could take advantage of vulnerable, often young women, all while presenting it as mentorship or opportunities for career growth. This is a pattern that many people are now starting to question and challenge as more voices speak up and the conversation about accountability continues to grow.
You're hearing Diddy everywhere, guys.
Yeah.
So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked out with them?
He produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. He gave us great music. We flew out to New York, and I was mainly in the studio with the producer. He had a stable of producers, so I was in the studio with his stable of producers, and I think we did some great music.
Hopes? Yeah. Any specific reason?
Yeah, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And I'm not the partying type. I ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never really wanted to go, but I don't go to a lot of people's parties. That just ain't what I'm in it for. You've been to one, you've been to them all.
Are you surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you you have no idea? It's none of my business. You'll live long. Kind of like the mindset.
I'm surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? It's so. You're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, just domino effect happen.
So you don't think, Shook said, you can say what you want about Diddy, but Diddy didn't learn to like young boys. He learned it from a man named Clive Davis. He threw Clive Davis in there.
Jay-Z's connection with Foxy Brown has drawn attention because of the age gap and the power difference. At the time, even though Foxy was a rising star, Jay-Z had major influence over her early career. The ongoing rumors about their relationship, whether true or not, highlight the bigger Conversation about power and control in the music industry especially. In the 90s, Foxy herself has never confirmed these claims, but the topic keeps resurfacing, likely because back then, there was very little oversight when it came to these kinds of industry.
He is the most shameful thing I've ever done. There is nothing that I experienced with that person that has not inspired shame except for Unplugged. That was the purest moment. For me, it was all done in love for music, love for all that was there, love for the culture. I hate the fact that we did it all for a culture vulture. I still got the footage.
There you go. There you go.
And in 1 week, Jay-Z Unplugged. The actual whole concert, from beginning to end, will be viewed and able to be viewed on RealJag.com. Come and see the history. Come and see the power of that moment, the amazing things that we did with our bodies and our minds and our spirits. There was not one person in that room that was not elevated that.
Been openly critical of Jay-Z's decision to work with R. Kelly, especially after serious concerns about R. Kelly's behavior became widely known at the time Dame Dash was in a relationship with Aaliyah, who had a well-known and highly concerning past connection to R. Kelly. Despite this, Jay-Z continued his professional collaborations with R. Kelly, including releasing The Best of Both Worlds and going on tour together. This situation has sparked ongoing conversations about choices, power, and accountability in the music industry.
Beyonce is allegedly running and hiding with the kids after Diddy's lawsuits continue to mount and her time is limited, because many people are saying that her husband Jay-Z is next. So Queen Bey gave Jay the impression she was going to be there for him through thick and thin after surviving multiple affairs. But she had to call it quits as Jay is allegedly facing prison time after his alleged involvement with his best friend Diddy in trafficking. Bey is allegedly separating her assets with Jay to protect her brand after allegedly secretly filing for divorce from him back in June. Bey and Jay knew about Diddy's wrongdoings, so they could be considered accessories to the crime, and some are saying they might be a little more involved with the Colombian dancing powder than we originally thought. Bey specifically might be investigated after it was speculated across the internet that she may have allegedly deleted her competition and may have allegedly had Jay's mistress, Kathy White, murdered. This is why Bey is releasing albums and going on concert, because he's trying to stack that paper before the charges
made it clear that he felt deep discomfort with this collaboration, seeing it as a betrayal of the values and principles he believed they both stood. FORS, AG
close by. Diddy recently revealed that only 2 individuals can call him by his birth name, Jay-Z and his mother. But Cassie and the record producer's accusations against Diddy have cast shadows over their relationship. Because Diddy seems like the new Epstein. Jay-Z faced scrutiny over his alleged romantic involvement with Foxy Brown, who was just 15 years old at the time of signing her.
Allegedly a romantical thing. It's all right, I'll say alleged, but we know. Yeah, she hit it before Beyonce.
Allegedly, Jay-Z orchestrated this relationship in exchange for a Hollywood career, even paying her hush money. Jay-Z's longtime friend and former business partner, Dame Dash, allegedly confirmed the truth. So in this tangled web of fame and secrecy, Jay-Z and Diddy find themselves at a crossroads. So in case you didn't know,
Foxy Brown has stayed quiet about what really happened between her and Jay-Z, but the rumors about their connection just won't go away. People keep talking, people keep wondering, and the story continues to follow both of them no matter how much time has passed.
Frustration is why y'all didn't say nothing about it. That was my point. Well, how is nobody saying nothing about it? Like, this nigga raping girls. They know that it was a girl. He said he married a 15-year-old, and everybody at that point, until it became common, or like it became the in thing to do, wasn't nobody disrespecting R. Kelly. Everybody was still going to a show. Until it became popular opinion, people weren't looking the other way. So what I was disappointed in every fan that didn't care that this dude was raping a little girl. And actually, tried to, you can't sugarcoat it. You cannot marry a 15-year-old, period, in America. You know what I'm saying?
Fact,
but she died. She died in a plane crash. It ain't no conspiracy. There is no conspiracy. Oh, well, that? No, we all knew what was going on. He made a record.
You're in the world.
No. It was common knowledge that he was married to Aaliyah, or he painted that picture of him being sexually with her at 15.
Yeah.
That was publicized. It wasn't no conspiracy. everybody knows. The question is, why you're in the Army, why didn't you think that was weird?
Oh, for sure I thought it was
So what,
weird.
did you still listen to him?
Listen to who?
Okay.
At that time?
Yeah.
I'm sure I did.
Knowing that he is having sex with a 15-year-old as a grown man?
I mean, are you kidding me? The stuff that we heard with Michael Jackson, everybody's trying to verify and say,
That's not my
is that
question.
even possible?
The reason why I'm asking you this is so you know the DNA and the problems I have to deal with. Even though a smart man like yourself knows something.
Foxy was signed to Jay-Z's Roca Records at a very young age, and their close working relationship sparked years of speculation that their bond was deeper than just music. There has never been any legal investigation into these claims, but the story still lingers as part of the bigger conversation about how women were treated in hip-hop during that era. So
He did the record with Jake. That's why I was that was almost like one of the things where I was just like, he's out of here, Jake. I just let it go because I couldn't believe he did a project with R. Kelly, knowing that he had raped my girl.
Allegations surrounding Jay-Z and Diddy highlight a pattern often discussed when looking back at the 1990s music industry, especially in hip-hop. Both figures have faced accusations of using their influence in ways that raised serious questions about power and the treatment of young women. This is part of a larger conversation that many are still unpacking.
We didn't shame Jay-Z when Foxy Brown came out and said, me and Jay-Z to me when I was 16 years old with that horse shit. Foxy Brown said that. Did nobody shame Dame Dash when he got with Aaliyah right after R. Kelly? Man, we can go on.
Williams once shared footage she claimed showed Diddy and Jay-Z in a situation that sparked intense conversation. Wendy Williams, well known for her talk show and fearless approach to celebrity gossip, has built a reputation for bringing bold claims and controversial topics to the spotlight. Her history of diving into the most talked about moments in the entertainment world keeps her name tied to stories like these. Whether people fully believe her or not, the conversations she starts tend to stick. AROUNDSAJU.
Boxing album should be coming up soon with the work. Yeah. That male female, you know what I mean, point of view though. Just that our point of view is so strong that it can't be ignored. You know what I mean? It's like an ordinary point of view. It's like very controversial. You know, you got to speak about it. So it's cool. Yeah. Foxy, she's a baby, but she listens to me. You know what I mean? She's tough. You know what I mean? She's strong. She's a brat, but she listens to me, so it's cool. You know what I mean? Baby girl, she's good.
12. Diddy and Jay-Z are often viewed as symbols of the darker side of the industry. The accusations connected to their names reflect a bigger pattern that many believe has existed within the music world for years. These stories are part of a wider conversation about power, influence, and the challenges that have shaped the industry behind the suicide.
That gets neglected. And, you know, I know in the 90s was different. A lot of older guys messed with those girls that were under 17 years of age. And, you know, now we're a little more educated because of the talk shows with Oprah that we went through and Dr. Phil and stuff like that. Even Ricky Lake and all of that. We realized that it wasn't so cool messing with the underage young lady. I never had an attraction for someone young. I always had an attraction for older women, so I probably didn't have that problem. But then everybody that I did. Everybody. I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah when she was underage? I forgot about Jay. Huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. But that ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Yeah, I remember Foxy Brown and Jay. The Nelly song with the Link St. Louis picks. But I'm just saying all that to say Foxy was young then as well. And so all of these guys and the underage young ladies was running rapid in the 90s. And so that's all I remember. That's all I think.
These claims are not limited to Jay-Z and Diddy. Figures like R. Kelly, whose actions were eventually addressed, In court show just how deeply these concerns run within the music world. The industry has faced long-standing criticism for creating spaces where young women can be especially vulnerable to exploitation. Powerful figures like Jay-Z and Diddy have been accused of contributing to that culture, and their names often come up in these important discussions about accountability and
many people don't know is that Wendy Williams allegedly had a tape of Diddy and Jay-Z partaking in adult activities with a third, very young-looking person. She leaked a screenshot of this freak-off tape back in the 90s on her radio station and told viewers to check out her website to see it for themselves. She only leaked one frame of the footage since the actual tape itself was so bad it was almost criminal to possess and more than likely illegal to share. Wendy allegedly reported the tape to the police, who did nothing because it was impossible to tell if the two people in the tape were the rappers, since their faces were covered. Unfortunately for Wendy, the news reports at the time echoed the authorities' sentiments, as they couldn't verify the people in this video either. But Wendy was convinced and doubled down, outing Diddy as gay and into young boys before anyone else did, and all of this hit the fan.
Jay-Z and Beyoncé are known as one of the most powerful couples in the entertainment world, but their journey has not always been smooth. Public moments have revealed layers and challenges in their story. When they first began dating, many people noticed the age gap. Beyoncé was 19 and Jay-Z was in his early 30s, and that sparked conversations about the power dynamic between them. Over time, their relationship grew into a public partnership that rose alongside their success and became a defining part of their image.
See, just waiting to see what's going to happen next. I'm waiting to see if was Jay-Z's part in it and all this, because his name keep bringing him up. As a society and a culture, we've always heard and we've always suspected. You know, we just haven't had the right information or the right leads to continue with the investigations or continue with the allegations, as they would consider it. But at the end of the day, yeah, you know damn well Jay-Z's involved with this shit. You know, we know how the industry works. You know, it's not about conspiracy or nothing like that. It's just about reality. Like back in the day, we didn't have the technology that we have now, so we was always like, "What is it? True? Is it?" Because we didn't have the right things to. We got you.
Continued success, even with these allegations in the background, shows how powerful individuals can often move forward without facing real consequences as long as their influence stays strong. Their reach, their networks, and their control over their image can protect them in ways that keep them at the top, despite the conversations happening around Jay-Z.
Now you think of Beyonce, and Beyonce is our beloved, and you just don't want to think of Jay-Z. You know, he's this rapper that started out in the projects. He kind of had his little gangster rap, then he kind of elevated, married Beyonce. We all know his elevation. Now he's, you know, pushing Black power and all these things and Black-owned businesses and stuff like that. So I find it hard to believe that he would be dumb enough to allegedly, as Jaguar stated, get free pregnant, abuse Jaguar, all these things that she is alleging, and she's saying that Jay-Z has really done worse things than Diddy. She had smoke for Jay-Z. She said that her husband, her very first husband, works with, still to this day, Jay-Z, number one, and that he also, Jay-Z actually put him...
Gooding Jr. on the PBT podcast shared his thoughts, saying that Diddy is making reckless choices and that he might not even realize his actions could be seen as wrong. Cuba's comments added another voice to the growing conversation about Diddy and how some people in the industry view his behavior. So 18. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned and catch you next time.